This morning, after ignoring 37 missed calls from him, I opened my door to find him sobbing on his knees. Derek and I had been together for almost 3 years. Met him when I was 21. He was the guy who knew how to fix the garbage disposal when it jammed. First green flag. Or so I thought. We exchanged Instagrams, started texting, and the rest just kind of happened. The past 3 years had been mostly good. We had our rhythm, you know? Netflix documentaries on Thursdays, dinner at his mom's every other Sunday, camping trips with his friends in the summer. He always remembered my birthday. Actually listened when I talked about my day. These days, that's practically unicorn behavior. Side note, my last boyfriend thought emotional labor was a type of childbirth, so my bar was admittedly on the floor. Fast forward to this past Tuesday. I was on my lunch break, scrolling my phone, when I got a text from my friend Amara, just a TikTok link and call me now in all caps. Amara is not the dramatic type. This is the same girl who once texted slight issue when her apartment was literally flooding. I clicked the link, and there was Derek. At Throwbacks, that dive bar his buddies always hit up on Mondays. I could tell by the neon Budweiser sign flickering behind him every 7 seconds like clockwork. We'd counted once while waiting for our order. He was clearly 6 beers deep, red-faced, arms slung around his friend Xavier. Someone off camera asked, "So, rate your girlfriend, bro." And y'all, the look on his face changed, not his normal smile. This weird, smug smirk, like he was about to let everyone in on some private joke. Eliana, honestly, probably the most hideous girl I've ever been with. Like a 4 on a good day. The bar erupted. Someone yelled, "Savage!" Derek just laughed and kept going. But she cooks really good enchiladas and never complains when I go out with the boys, so I keep her around. Low maintenance, you know? Then someone asked if he was worried I'd see the video. His response? Nah, she doesn't even know what TikTok is. Besides, thinking about upgrading soon anyway. Too much baggage. The timestamp, 11:43 p.m. Monday night. While I was at home doing a freaking clay mask and texting him good night. The video had 177,000 views, 17,000 likes. I just sat there in the break room staring at my phone. Didn't cry, didn't scream. Just felt this weird, cold feeling spreading through my chest. 3 years together? And this is what he actually thinks of me? The night before, he'd been at my place. We'd made dinner together. Talked about maybe moving in when my lease ended in August. He'd kissed me goodbye and said, "Love you, babe." Like it was nothing. And 12 hours later, I was the hideous girlfriend he was planning to dump. I texted Amara back. "Coming over after work? Don't tell anyone." Then I muted my notifications, put my phone in my bag, and somehow made it through 3 more client appointments without completely breaking down. Autopilot is weird like that. After work, I didn't go home. I went straight to Target, bought a cheap duffel bag, filled it with essentials, toothbrush, deodorant, phone charger, couple of t-shirts. Spent 47 sanctioned. The receipt is still in my wallet for some reason. Drove to Amara's apartment complex at 6:13 p.m. Sat in the parking lot for 20 minutes, just staring at nothing. Playing that video over and over in my head. I kept thinking about all the times Derek told me I looked beautiful. At his company Christmas party. When I had the flu last winter. 3 weeks ago at the beach, when I was too self-conscious to wear a bikini. All lies. Or just things you say when you're with someone. When I finally walked into Amara's apartment, she didn't ask questions. Just pointed to the couch bed, poured 2 glasses of the cheap rosé we used to drink in college, and said, "What's the plan?" That's when I decided, I'm not giving him the satisfaction of a breakup conversation. No tears. No begging. No dramatic confrontation he can tell his bros about later. I'm just gonna disappear. We spent that night making a checklist. Blocked Derek on everything. Changed all my passwords. He knew most of them. Called out from work for the rest of the week. Told only my mom where I really was. By midnight, Derek had texted 7 times. Normal stuff at first. "Hey, what do you want for dinner? You still coming over tonight?" By morning, "Where are you? Why aren't you answering?" By afternoon, 12 missed calls. Not one mention of the TikTok. Not one apology. Nothing. I stayed at Amara's Wednesday and Thursday. We binged Love Island. Trash TV is surprisingly therapeutic when your life is imploding. I cried in the shower so she wouldn't hear, and we ordered way too much Uber Eats because neither of us felt like cooking. Friday morning, Amara swung by my apartment to grab more of my clothes. Derek had clearly been there. Empty energy drink cans on the counter, his jacket thrown over my couch, a note taped to my door, "Call me. We need to talk." Still, nothing about why we might need to talk. Like I was supposed to just not know about the video. The TikTok mysteriously disappeared from his account Thursday night. Too late. It had already been screen recorded and was making rounds in our friend group. My phone was blowing up with, "Are you okay?" Texts from people I hadn't talked to in months. The weekend was a blur of ignoring calls from unknown numbers, Derek using his friends' phones once he realized I'd blocked him, and jumping every time someone knocked on Amara's door. Margaret, from my old college group chat, sent me screenshots of Derek's Instagram stories, vague posts about missing someone and biggest mistake of my life with sad song lyrics. Classic damage control. Sunday night, 26 missed calls. Monday morning, 32. I finally went back to work. My manager hugged me when I walked in. Apparently, the video had made it to her FYP too. She told me to take another day if I needed it. I said no. I needed normal. Needed to focus on something other than the dumpster fire that was my relationship. Derek showed up at the salon during my lunch break. I hid in the supply closet while my coworker told him I wasn't there. I heard his voice, that familiar low rumble I used to love, through the door. He sounded tired. Good. By Tuesday morning, exactly 1 week since I saw that video, the missed call count was at 37. His latest text just said, "Please." I needed to swing by my apartment for my mail. Had a package that needed a signature. Figured 8 a.m. was safe since Derek usually leaves for work at 7:30. I was wrong. I unlocked my door. And there he was, sitting on my welcome mat. The one he gave me. The one that says home is where the Wi-Fi connects automatically. He looked up when he heard my keys. Y'all, the man was a wreck. Hadn't shaved, dark circles under his eyes, wearing the same Metallica shirt he'd had on in his Instagram story 2 days ago, and when he saw me, he crumpled. Not in a fake, dramatic way, like his body physically gave out, on his knees. Tears immediately streaming, saying my name over and over. I just stood there, keys still in hand, felt nothing, then everything, then nothing again. Update. This morning, I did something I haven't done in 2.5 weeks. I made a plan for myself. Not a reaction to Derek, not a hiding strategy, just a normal day. But as I was heading out for coffee, something stopped me cold. Derek had changed his Instagram profile picture. It was a photo of us from last summer at his cousin's wedding, my head on his shoulder, both of us smiling. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't affect me at all. But it did. I'll update again when there's more to tell. For now, I'm taking it day by day and remembering what my grandma always said, sometimes the trash takes itself out. Second update. Y'all, I wasn't planning on updating so soon, but this past week has been a lot, and I need to process. It's been exactly 32 days since I saw the video. 1 month of rebuilding my life without someone I thought was my future. And honestly, some days are better than others. The weirdest thing happened last Saturday. I was at Target, my emotional support store, don't judge, picking up new sheets because I finally decided to get rid of the gray ones. Derek always said they brought out the blue in his eyes. Gag. I was debating between sage green and terracotta when I noticed a woman staring at me from the end of the aisle. At first, I thought maybe I had something on my face, or, God forbid, toilet paper stuck to my shoe. Wouldn't be the first time. But then she walked over, looking super uncomfortable, and asked if I was the girl from Derek's TikTok. My stomach instantly knotted up. It's one thing to be humiliated online. It's another to be recognized by strangers at Target on a random Saturday while wearing no makeup and yesterday's messy bun. Before I could even respond, she launched into this awkward apology, saying she had been one of the people who commented something mean on the original video, but felt terrible after seeing Derek's public apology and realized how wrong cyberbullying is. Her exact words. I just stood there, clutching my terracotta sheets. Decision made by panic, apparently, while this stranger had her character development moment in the home goods section. When she finally stopped talking, I managed to say, "Thanks, it's fine, good talk." And then I speed walked to check out. Sat in my car for 20 minutes afterward with the AC blasting even though it was only 62 degrees outside. That's when it hit me. I'm not just Eliana anymore. To some people, I'm the girl from the TikTok. My humiliation has become my identifier. And that realization made me angry in a way I hadn't felt before. Not the quiet, exhausted anger I'd been living with for weeks. No, this was different. This was pure, energizing, get shit done anger. Sunday morning, I woke up at 6:13 a.m., couldn't sleep, and made a list in my notes app. Cut my hair. Always wanted to try a lob, but Derek liked it long. Join that kickboxing class Amara keeps talking about. Finally apply for that certificate program I've been putting off. Redecorate my bedroom. No more masculine-friendly color scheme. Download a dating app, just to remind myself Derek isn't the only man on earth. By 11 a.m., I'd already crossed off number 1. Walked into Supercuts without an appointment, living dangerously, lol, and chopped off 7 inches of hair. The stylist kept asking if I was sure, if I needed more time to think about it, if someone had talked me into it. Told her, nope, just need a change. She didn't need to know that in my head, each snip of the scissors was named after something Derek had said to me over the years. You'd look better with more defined eyebrows. No guy wants a girl who eats more than him. Your laugh is kind of loud sometimes. When she spun me around to see the final result, I barely recognized myself. In a good way. My neck felt lighter. My head felt lighter. Hell, my whole being felt lighter. Posted a selfie when I got home. Just me, new hair, sunlight streaming through my kitchen window. Caption, new month, new me. Within an hour, it had 87 likes, including from Xavier and 2 of Derek's other friends. Petty satisfaction? Maybe, but I'll take the small wins. Monday, crossed off number 2. Dragged myself to Amara's kickboxing class at an ungodly hour, convinced I'd make a fool of myself. But the instructor, Margaret, ironically the same name as Amara's roommate, kept us moving so fast I didn't have time to overthink. By the end, I was drenched in sweat, my arms felt like overcooked spaghetti, and I loved it. Checked my phone afterward. 3 missed calls from unknown numbers. Derek's new burner phone tactic. 1 text from Xavier, hey, can we talk sometime? Left him on read. Not ready for that conversation yet. Tuesday, finally tackled number 3. Applied for the digital marketing certificate I've been considering for ages. Derek always said it was a waste of money since I already have a stable job. Took me 43 minutes to fill out the application, 20 minutes to write the personal statement, and about 3 seconds to hit submit before I could overthink it. Had a mini panic attack immediately after. Called my mom. She talked me down in her usual way. Half encouragement, half, I don't understand why you're complicating your life, but I support you anyway. Wednesday, shit hit the fan. Was grocery shopping when my phone blew up. Amara, call me now. Derek is on Instagram Live. He's talking about you. It's bad. Abandoned my cart in the cereal aisle, underpaid grocery store workers, and ran to my car. Sure enough, there he was. Drunk at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday. Red-faced, slurring, talking directly to the camera about how he'd lost the love of his life and didn't know how to go on. Then he said something that made my blood freeze. I know she's watching this. Eliana, I'm coming over tonight. We need to talk this out. I'm not taking no for an answer anymore. I immediately called Amara. Full panic mode. She offered to come over, but I called my brother, Miguel, instead. Miguel arrived at 5:30 p.m. with his girlfriend, Tanya, and enough overnight stuff for a week. Said, don't argue, we're staying until this dude gets the message. By 9:47 p.m., the doorbell rang. It was Derek. Miguel answered while Tanya and I stood back. I heard Derek's voice, slurred, emotional, demanding to see me. Miguel kept his responses low and calm. After 5 minutes, the door closed. Derek was gone. Miguel turned back to me and said, he looked rough, smelled like he bathed in Jack Daniels. I barely slept that night. And then Thursday morning, I got a text. Derek's mom, I know you don't owe him anything, but please, call me. I stared at the message, stomach twisting, and that was before Xavier dropped a bombshell. Eliana, the TikTok wasn't spontaneous. Derek planned it, and I can prove it. I'm meeting Xavier today at 2 p.m. at Starbucks. Miguel insisted on coming, just in case. No idea what I'm about to find out. I'll update after. Wish me luck. Final update. The audacity continues, but not in my life. First off, thank you for all the supportive comments. To answer the most common questions. No, I haven't unblocked Derek. No, I don't plan to. Yes, I'm bringing my pepper spray. Thanks for the concern, lol. And no, I don't want Derek back. I just wanted to understand. Last update, the receipts are in. Y'all, I've rewritten this post 4 times because I still cannot believe everything that has happened. First, sorry for the cliffhanger in my last update. I needed time to process what Xavier showed me. Let's back up to Saturday at 2:03 p.m. I walked into Starbucks with my stomach in knots, spotted Xavier in the corner booth, nervously shredding a napkin. Miguel was at a table near the door, doing an absolutely terrible job of being discreet in his indoor sunglasses. Xavier looked rough, not Derek-level disaster, but definitely stressed. Dark circles, unwashed hair, wearing the same shirt I'd seen on his Instagram at least 3 times recently. The first 5 minutes were painfully awkward. He apologized about 17 different ways for his part in the TikTok situation. I just sipped my latte and waited for him to get to the point. Finally, he pulled out his phone. Before I show you this, you need to know, I didn't find it until yesterday. I was going through some old group chats trying to find a pizza place we ordered from once, and I saw this thread that Derek started about a month before, you know. He slid his phone across the table. It was open to a WhatsApp group chat titled Weekend Warriors. The members? Derek, Xavier, Franklin, and 2 other guys. The messages were from 5 weeks before the TikTok incident. Need your help with something, boys. What's up? Trying to figure out how to break up with E. Whoa, for real? Thought you guys were looking at places together. Yeah, that's the problem. She's getting too serious. Plus, I met someone at the gym. I felt my face get hot as I scrolled. Derek went on to explain that he'd been talking to his words, a girl named Adriana, for almost 3 months, but he was worried about how I'd react to a breakup since we shared so many friends. She can get emotional. Excuse me? And it got worse. Derek was literally asking his friends for advice on how to make me break up with him so he could look like the good guy. Their suggestions ranged from gradually becoming distant to picking fights over nothing. To, and this is what almost made me drop the phone, just be an asshole on social media so she sees it and dumps you. The last message in the thread was from Derek. TikTok might be the move. She never checks it anyway. I looked up at Xavier, who couldn't even meet my eyes. Why show me this now? I asked. He explained that after our last conversation, he'd been feeling increasingly guilty about his role in everything. He had assumed the TikTok was just drunk stupidity, not a calculated move. And he definitely didn't know about Adriana until he found those messages. Derek's been lying to everyone, Xavier said, telling us how heartbroken he is, how he made the biggest mistake of his life. Meanwhile, he's still texting Adriana. I saw them together at Chipotle yesterday. And just like that, the final puzzle piece clicked into place. The TikTok wasn't a drunken mistake. It was deliberate. A plan that backfired when I disappeared instead of confronting him. I sat there, trying to process the fact that Derek had not only intentionally humiliated me online, but that he'd done it just so he could leave me for someone else. And now, he was playing the devastated boyfriend to save face. I thanked Xavier for showing me the truth, then walked out of Starbucks with Miguel trailing behind, asking 70 questions I wasn't ready to answer. 37 days later, time for the final boss fight. That night, I made a decision. After 37 days of silence, I was going to talk to Derek, on my terms, not to get back together. That ship had sailed, hit an iceberg, and sunk to the bottom of the ocean. But to let him know that I knew everything. Sunday morning, exactly 10 a.m., I texted him from my real number. We need to talk. Today, 2 p.m. Java Hut on Main. Don't be late. 12 seconds later, I'll be there. Thank you, Eliana. I love you. Spoiler alert, he does not, in fact, love me. For the next 3 hours, I oscillated between absolute certainty and complete panic. Changed my outfit 4 times. Practiced what I wanted to say in the mirror like I was prepping for a job interview. Called Amara twice to talk me off the ledge. I arrived at Java Hut 20 minutes early, picked the corner table with my back to the wall, tactical positioning, and ordered a chai latte I had no intention of drinking. Derek walked in at 1:58 p.m., scanning the cafe until he spotted me. He looked better than I expected. Showered, shaved, wearing the blue button-down I'd given him. For a split second, my heart did that stupid little flip. Then I remembered the WhatsApp messages. He reached for a hug. I dodged by gesturing to the chair across from me. His face fell, but he sat. Then he launched into what was clearly a rehearsed speech about how sorry he was, how much he missed me, how the past month had been the worst of his life. I let him talk for exactly 2 minutes. Then I placed my phone on the table, screen up, open to the WhatsApp screenshots. So, who's Adriana, y'all? The look on his face, like someone hit him with a taser, mouth opening and closing like a gasping fish. Those are, Xavier shouldn't have. Just tell me the truth, Derek, for once. And once he realized he was caught, the apologies stopped, the excuses started. Adriana was just a friend at first. Sure, Jen, I'd been confused for months. 3 years is too long to be with one person in your 20s. The TikTok was stupid, but I never thought you'd see it. I panicked when you disappeared. I realized I made a huge mistake. And that's when it finally clicked. Derek wasn't devastated about hurting me. He was devastated about looking like the bad guy. So I took a sip of my now ice-cold chai and said the words I'd been practicing all morning. I'm not here to get back together. I'm here to tell you that I know everything, and I'm done. His eyes welled up with tears. 99% sure, performative. But I love you. If you loved me, you wouldn't have spent 3 months planning how to humiliate me. Then I grabbed my purse and walked out. No dramatic exit. No scene. Just done. But the story wasn't quite over, because at noon the next day, I got a text from an unknown number. Hi, Eliana. You don't know me, but I think we need to talk. Derek's been telling me one story and apparently telling you another. Yup. Adria. And y'all, you are not ready for what happened next. Final edit. For everyone asking if I'm worried Derek will see this post, honestly, a part of me hopes he does. Let him read how thoroughly he failed at controlling this narrative. Let him see that his hideous ex is out here thriving, happier than ever, with a future that no longer has space for his manipulative ass. And to any other girls out there dealing with your own Dereks, you deserve better, and better exists. Trust me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a life to live. The end.